Hello and welcome to Small Business Small Talk. I am your host, Christy Smallwood. As a business coach, CEO, author, and speaker, I have learned the best mentors are trial and error, and other business owners who have also tried, maybe failed, and then tried again so that they could succeed in their dream ventures. With this show, I get to interview some amazingly wonderful small business owners who tell their stories, share their learnings, and pass along great advice to others.
So, it was just getting hard on me, and it was getting to the point where I was doing a lot of testing. I was doing a lot of paperwork. I was doing a lot less of the things that I loved. So I became a travel agent and spent the first 3-4 years just being very part-time, just kind of word of mouth, just getting my feet wet, doing a lot of training. And then I guess it was end of January, first part of February, I went to a training with my host agency, and it's, rah, rah, you can do this. My bookings were way up because January, February are very busy for travel agents.
Yep.
Bookings were way up. Things overall were looking good from the previous year going into January and February. So my husband and I sat down and we said, let's do it. Let's do it. I also teach English online to Chinese children. So he's like, as long as right now that's consistently paying the mortgage, do it. Go for it. Go for it, honey. So, okay. So got to that point. End of February last year, I turned in my letter of resignation effective at the end of the year. And then COVID.
Toward the beginning of the pandemic, as things were shutting down, all of our events for 2020 were canceled, right? And the assumption about how I should spend my time from various people would have been planning, orchestrating events, pulling people in, right? That type of stuff, writing grants. And that chunk of my job just disappeared because I'm sorry if this offends someone, but we do not need another virtual 5K. Okay, we don't need another one. There's so many floating around on the internet. If you're thinking to yourself, I work for a nonprofit and I want to have a virtual 5K. Nope, don't do it. And so really what was left was talking to people. That's what was left, talking to people.
You guys are already funny to me because in our proverbial green room, everybody, you got to understand they talked about their child. We talked about pets in the screen and different distractions. And we already knew before this interview that Hannah, you admitted you like to be the talker.
Yes.
So Blake was very like, you love her enough to go, okay.
It was that, but also the fact that I was at a job where I didn't like it. I was on call 24/7. I was working tons of hours, and that all came at a cost, and that cost was my family. And I knew that if I kept on this path, I was gonna, who knows what would happen to me? It's gonna break down or whatnot. And so I got one last nasty email from the company I was working for. I didn't like it, and literally out of the blue called her and said, "Hey, I'm gonna get my notice and quit this job, and let's sell our house and let's do the RV thing."
And I was like, yes, do it.
So,
right now. Don't change your mind.
Podcast life. I do. And it is about pivoting. That is,
I really wanted to stay away from the word.
I'll be honest, that I talked about it so much last year. 2020's word was definitely pivoting.
Pivot.
And what I try to tell people is you can think of it as, oh gosh, really? Is that word being announced again or said again? But honestly, it speaks to how resilient people and businesses can
be. Absolutely.
Because we got to be honest, technology's great when it works. And if this would have happened 10 years ago,
oh, we'd all been screwed.
Well, and I'm not still saying that we weren't screwed or that we didn't all really struggle, but technology allowed us platforms to whatever you want to say. Stay connected, pivot your business, start a new business. We could keep going. And we can not like technology sometimes. We can hate it when it doesn't work. That even with an IT background.
When Facebook changes something after you just did an hour-long presentation
and
about
then
it.
Christy goes on a rampage about it. Yes. Check.
It's been exciting. So again, huge thank you to you for saying yes to doing this podcast, because
Thank you very much. I was excited. I wasn't going to turn you down. It's funny. I said yes before I even knew what we were going to talk about. I was like, maybe you should ask her what we're talking about.
And that's the power I have, people. They just say yes.
Man, right. You're exactly right.
Small Business Small Talk is about having the small business experience. That you're not alone in this. If you are a small business owner, or you're thinking of starting a business, or you're in it and you've been in it for years, you're not alone. We have all experienced a lot of the same issues. So this is a great place to learn from others and their stories of how they've overcome things, as well as learn from them something that you could apply to your own business to be able to make your processes better, your mindset better, your communication with others better, especially if you're a family-owned business. And not only that, but that it's all worth it. It's all worth it. The ups and downs, that entrepreneur roller coaster, if you will, it is all worth it. And I promise you will learn something new and laugh every time. So let's talk some business.